Hello, everyone. My name is Tamar Smithers. I am Director of Education and Public Programs for the National Museum of African American Music. I am so excited to be here speaking today with Mr. Robert Churchwell Jr. We're going to talk about his family, his legacy, and today's a special day. Isn't that right, Mr. Churchwell? Can you tell me
Yes,
what
it is. Yes,
today?
it is. Today is the magic day, September 9th. Today has been my father's birthday. He would have been 104 years old today.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, great
Amazing.
man.
All right. So we're glad that you all have tuned in today, Robert Churchwell family. Like we said, today is a special day. We're going to talk with Mr. Churchwell, learn a little bit more about his family and the legacy, and we hope you enjoy. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we have a slideshow that we're going to show, but before we do that, you have a special picture that you want to show us. Isn't that right?
I certainly do. I certainly do. I want to show the what I call the engineer, the architect, and the engineer. It's of course our mom and dad. All right. This is where it all started, of course. And my mother, we lost her this year on
So sorry.
February the 16th. Of course, with dad, they were the A team, as you might say.
Mm,
And mom would, when I say engineer or architect, mom would design what she would do for us
mm-hmm,
as kids as we grew up. We all had structured programs, etc. And
mm-hmm.
dad would make sure it happened. He would make sure what mom put in place took place. And
Wow.
so they were a great team. I couldn't do what I'm doing today, and I know my siblings would say the same thing if it was not for them. And by God's grace and mercy, it was
Yes,
God's grace and mercy first because He put us with these two outstanding people, Mary and
absolutely.
Robert Churchwell. So
Absolutely. And so
that's our
for those who do not know, Mr. Churchwell Jr., he is the family and community coordinator at Robert Churchwell. And I'm sure you've all seen him in the halls, you've been working with him. But today's a special day, so we wanted to have a chat with him and see what he's doing and hear about the family legacy. Because after all, your school is named after Mr. Robert Churchwell Sr.
That's right. Yes, it
All
is.
right. So it's good to know your history, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and start with the slideshow. We have an amazing slideshow that we're going to show you all today. All right. So Robert Churchwell, the banner years.
Yes. So this is, of course, that was the banner masthead. And this is where the banner announced Dad's hiring in 1950.
Wow.
And once that's a great picture of him there. And this, he was the first African American, of course, hired as a reporter in the South. They call him the Jackie Robinson of journalism.
Mm.
And it's interesting how this story came to play. Uh, Dad had written a story in one of the other dailies, African American dailies in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And Attorney Enix and Mr. Russell, who was at the Atlanta Life Insurance Company,
Mm-hmm.
they saw Mr. Russell saw Dad's article, and he had been contacted by Mr. Moss, who was one of the editors of the Banner, looking for an African American to write news in the African American community. The Banner knew that they needed our money. Okay, they
Yep.
needed the
Yep.
African American community in Nashville to actually read the Banner. So therefore, they contacted Dad. He didn't want the job at first because he realized the Banner was a racist paper
Mm-hmm.
and that they didn't particularly care for African Americans. But they persuaded Dad, and I think through God's grace and mercy, he decided to go on, and plus he was getting married to our mother, so I
Yeah.
think that kind of helped.
Yeah.
But he went on, and of course, again, did great things during his
Wow.
tenure there at the Banner. Won many awards and accolades for his writing. We went to Indianapolis,
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, to receive the Helen Thomas Award. Helen Thomas was an outstanding journalist who
Mm-hmm.
covered all the presidents during her
Mm,
tenure in Washington, D.C.
mm.
And that award was given to him posthumously as that when we went to the ceremony. In
Wow.
addition to that, he is in the African American Museum in Washington, D.C., the Smithsonian Museum. He does have an exhibit there.
Wow.
Excited to announce this morning, too, that our own Tennessee State Museum will have an exhibit with Dad in it in the Tennessee State Museum. So happy to announce that. I
Amazing.
met with our director there this past week, and we're both, the family is elated to have this great honor again bestowed upon us.
Yes, in our own hometown, right? It's
In our
awesome
own,
to have it at this huge institution, but when you're recognized by your own family and friends in your own hometown, that's even bigger, I think. So let's
these,
go ahead and let's talk about this picture a little bit.
well, this is a great picture because again, Dad covered education K through college.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of he also he covered sports events too. This is
Mm.
Washington Junior High School. And one of the great things about this picture is the gentleman who is to the right, the far right there, he was a well-known and outstanding coach at Washington, won all city championship during that time
Wow.
for the African Americans because they had segregated sports during that time.
Mm-hmm.
But they had won the championship, and of course that was the principal there at the time next to him, and one of the players. So Daddy was given their award for winning the
Wow.
championship, and that's as they say, it was part of his beat
Yes.
at that time.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Now this picture.
This picture, of course, was Dad in the newsroom. When he was hired in 1950, he was not allowed to have a desk in the Banner newsroom.
Mm.
It took two gentlemen, Larry Britton, a name that we know in Nashville, and also Mr. Dick Battle, became a great friend of Dad and our family. They went to Mr. Stallman and protested about the treatment of our father. Uh,
Mm.
Mr. Stallman would not even allow my mother and father to go to the Banner Christmas party,
Wow.
nor was Dad allowed to go into any of the staff meetings
Mm.
while he was with the band. Before he was allowed a desk in the newsroom, he had to walk, because he didn't have a car at the time, walk from his house in South Nashville downtown to 1110 Broadway, where the band was located, to deliver his news stories before the deadline. Of course, the Banner was the
Wow.
evening news. The Tennessean is still the morning news.
Absolutely.
So this is a great picture of him finally getting into the newsroom in 1955.
Amazing. And this, I think, might be one of my favorites only because I absolutely love Marian Anderson. So, can you talk a little bit about this picture, Mr. Churchwell?
Be glad to. This is a very historic picture here because in it we have another two historic people.
Mm,
We have David Hammerson, the gentleman who's standing in the back, the Cajun gentleman
mm,
there. He's the great author and writer who wrote the book The Children, where
mm.
my mom and dad have a chapter in the book dedicated to them. But this picture is part of their chapter. But this is the famous singer Marian Anderson, who came to Nashville to perform. She was
Mm.
not allowed to perform in our state capital, in our nation's capital,
Right.
and she ended up having to sing at the Lincoln Memorial because of that. It was covered by all the different news media and during that time, and she went on a tour. And part of our tour was to come to Nashville, Tennessee. As a child, I got to be there. I was in
Wow.
War Memorial Auditorium to hear her concert, and what a concert it was. But this is his
Fascinating.
dad shaking her hand
Oh,
as she came to Nashville, Tennessee. Great picture.
amazing.
And here's the man himself,
Man himself.
yeah, my namesake. I'm so proud to be named after this great man. People ask who my hero. Who is your hero? I didn't have to go far. I just went
Mm,
to the kitchen or the living room, and there he was.
there he was. I
Dad,
love it.
Robert Churchwell Sr. He retired from the Banner, as a caption says, in 1981. and he received an award from the Nashville chapter in the NAACP for his achievement in print, journalism, and contributions to the community. So he
Amazing.
was very well respected and known, and we were very quite honored that the Board of Education, because of Dad's achievement, named this great school after him.
Such a rich legacy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty. Now, of course, Dad loved family.
Yeah.
Family was his center. Okay. Doing all the trials and tribulations he went through, when he came home, this was his sanctuary, and he loved his family dearly. Of course, there's our mother again. And the reason why I chose this picture, because my mother was a teacher in Metro School. She taught in Metro School for over 30 years.
Wow.
She retired as a reading specialist
Mm.
at Tom Joy Elementary in East Nashville. But my sister, Marisa, is also a teacher too. So we ended up with two teachers, myself and my sister. She's the middle child.
Wow.
And she works at Vanderbilt in their daycare center. She's one of the coordinators there at Vanderbilt with daycare in their daycare center at Vanderbilt University.
All right.
Of course, she's a TSU graduate.
Yes.
The Metro School. She went to East High School, graduated from East High School here in Nashville.
All right.
And she holds a master's degree in curriculum and instruction. Now, this is the great picture. Okay? This is a family picture. This is a back in the day picture, as they would say. The person to your far left, whose head is kind of cut off, okay, me. That was my cool picture.
Your cool stance, right? Okay.
I had on my famous golf cap, and I was raising up number one finger there. Okay.
Yes.
Of course, that's Dad and Mom. My brother Andre, who was next to me, and I'll go through what everybody's doing as we go through the slide. But this, and of course, my sister Marisa, who's a little child. That's her in the picture. And Mom and Dad hit the home run with our twin brothers, Kevin and Keith. That's Kevin on the left of Marisa and Keith on the right. And this was taken on a Sunday afternoon. I never will forget. It was a hot Sunday evening, but I loved every minute of it. My mom's brother, Uncle Henry, just got a Polaroid camera back in the boy.
Polaroid cameras.
Polaroid picture.
Yes, I remember.
And so he came out to the house and took this picture, and we truly treasure this picture also.
Awesome. All right. Now, who is this handsome?
All right, this is Andre when he grew up. He finally grew up. And so this is Dr. Andre Lamont Churchwell. And I'm going to read all he has many titles that he holds at Vanderbilt. He is a world-known cardiologist. He's one of the top 10 cardiologists in the country.
Wow.
And he,
wow.
Levi Watkins Jr., MD chair at Vanderbilt. Dr. Watkins was a famous heart surgeon. He went to Vanderbilt Medical School. I think he was the first African-American to go to Vanderbilt School. They named a chair for him at Vanderbilt. He went through a lot of trials and tribulations too there. But Andre also served as Vice Chancellor of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion and Chief Diversity Officer at Vanderbilt University. He also is the Chief Diversity Officer of Vanderbilt University Medical Center and Senior Associate Dean for Diversity Affairs at Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. He also is Professor of Cardiology, Professor of Radiology and Radiological Surgeon Services, and Professor of Biomedical Engineering, which was his undergrad degree at Vanderbilt University. So that's Dr. Andre L. Churchwell.
Love it.
My brother. That's my ace right there.
Yeah. And last but not least,
we'll fight there now. This is the home run hit right here. On the left, we have Dr. Keith B. Churchwell. Keith he's a cardiologist also. He decided to follow in Andre's footsteps, and he was once the director of the Vanderbilt Heart Institute here in Nashville.
Wow.
Yale came calling, and they recruited him to Connecticut, where
Wow.
he's currently working there. And I'm going to give the rundown on Keith. Keith is graduated from Meigs. I graduated from East. No, he didn't graduate from Meigs. I'm sorry. He went to Meigs in kindergarten. He went to Holy Name School in the third grade. Our Cotton Elementary School, fourth, sixth grade. He went to Bailey Junior High School in seventh grade. Meigs Junior High, and Kevin, his twin, they were in the same class. Okay, so they were
Wow.
everything I'm giving you.
Yep. Yep.
And Keith also went to East High School, where both of them played in the band at East. Keith is a trumpet player, and Kevin is a clarinet player. And they graduated from McGavin Comprehensive High School. They went there in the 11th and 12th grade year. Now, Keith went to Harvard University in Boston. He has an AB degree in biology, and he got that in 1983. And he decided again to be a doctor. So he went on to Washington University School of Medicine. He got his MD degree in 1987.
Wow.
And interesting enough, both of them graduated the same year. I had to we did the Nashville first, and we were zipped to East St. Louis, to St. Louis for Keith's graduation. Now, he is currently serving in Connecticut at the Executive Vice President and Chief Operation Officer for Yale New Haven Hospital. And he will soon be, he just recently got promoted, the incoming president of the same hospital, October of this year. He'll step into that role. He's associate clinic professor of medicine at Yale School of Medicine. Kevin his specialty is intensive care pediatrics. He went to Vanderbilt Med School.
Wow.
Also, he went to Boston Children's Hospital, where he did his internship, residency, and his fellowship there. Again, as I said, his specialty is intensive care pediatrics. He wanted to work with the children. Outstanding. He did an outstanding job there. He was recruited back here home, where he helped develop the intensive care pediatrics department at Vanderbilt Hospital, Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And eventually he became the CEO on Monroe Carroll Jr. Hospital here in Nashville.
Wow.
Of course, he was there for 3 years, and he got swooped up. He went to Delaware, where he became the CEO of Nemours Children's Hospital. Nemours Children's Hospital, of course, one of the DuPont. Delaware is known for the DuPont plant, DuPont Chemical Company.
Right.
And so he became the CEO of Nemours, who was one of the DuPont children who decided to start a hospital, not only in Connecticut, but also he has one in Florida too. But then one day, his old school came calling, Boston Children, and they brought him back. To Boston Children's Hospital, and he is currently now the president and chief operation officer for the number one children's hospital in the country, Boston Children's Hospital. So that's my crew.
Wow, amazing. So, I mean, the Churchwell family just has a rich legacy and very, very accomplished. I'm glad we were able to go through the slideshow when we were to share some of those pictures and those details, but I want to dive in a little bit deeper. And so let's get to know you a little bit more. People see you in the hallway, they're working with you, the young babies, as I call them. Let us know a little bit more about you. Where were you born? Just share just a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's interesting. Of course, I was born here in Nashville. My birthday is in October. Of course, my dad's his birthday, of course, is the 9th of September. Mine is the 10th of October. So that was interesting. Senior, junior, following one another, 9, 9, 10, 10. But of course, I was born here in Nashville, raised in Nashville. I went to Meigs because of segregation. We all went to Meigs. I went to Meigs from grades 1 through 11. And because of integration, I had to go to East High School for 1 year. So I finished East High School in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 10 years old, my mom asked me what did I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, and so I told her I wanted to be a teacher.
Ah,
I said I wanted to be a band director, I wanted to be a
okay.
principal, and I wanted to be president of a university. So
Okay. At
God,
10
God
years
is
old?
at 10 years old. That's right.
Wow. Do you guys hear that? So make sure you dream big because you just never know. 10 years old. That's amazing. Go on. I'm
10 years old.
sorry.
No, no, no. And I was blessed 2 out of 3. I became a band director, of course, a principal. I retired as a principal
Yeah.
in Metropolitan National Public School after 38 years of service. Of course, I went to Tennessee State University, where I
Yeah.
was a music major, and I marched in the famous aristocrat of bands. Uh,
Yes.
and I was honored by my band director, Mr. Frank T. Greer. We call him the master. He was the great architect of the aristocrat of bands. He honored me to become one of the drum majors. So
Mm,
was, I guess you might say God was kind of getting me ready for the
yeah.
role that I would soon take on after I finished school, etc. So I marched in the band there, and of course finished Tennessee State. I became the band director at North High School in
Mm-hmm.
1976. That I was blessed to become the band director of the other greatest high school in America, White Creek Comprehensive High School, where we had the famous band of distinction. I was there from 78 to 1991 as band director, and then I was promoted to assistant principal at Overton High School.
Mm.
And that's when my career and my journey as a high school administrator started. So
Wow.
I have 2 outstanding men, children,
Mm-hmm.
William Ross Churchwell and Robert Benjamin Churchwell. William Ross, both of them were educated in Nashville at Overton High School. William Ross went to Tennessee State University, where he got his BS degree in Information Systems Management. He got his master's degree in that same area 3 years ago.
Mm.
And he currently works for the state of Tennessee
Wow.
in that same role with the state of Tennessee. And my youngest son, Robert Benjamin Churchwell, finished Overton High School also. He went to Martin Methodist College in Pulaski, Tennessee, where
Mm.
he received his BS degree in psychology. And he wanted to be a teacher. He said that for many years too. And so he is, with his degree, he normally you find people who become psychologists who want to go in psychology want to stay in that area,
Right, right. You
and they
don't
want to
see
work
them.
in the area. But now, yeah, they go all get a master's degree, doctor's degree, etc. But he wanted to be a teacher because he loves children, and he has a son of his own too, Elijah, my
Yeah.
grandson. But Robert decided to become a teacher, and now he's working at Purpose Prep charter school here in Nashville Metro Center as a first grade teacher, doing a great job over there. So
Wow.
he followed his grandmother and
Uh-huh.
his aunt and his dad into the education.
I love it. I love it.
And he's getting his master's degree.
Wow.
He from he'll get it in October.
Wow.
Grand Canyon University in Colorado. So
Wow.
that's
Never stop learning, you guys. When you think you're done, you're not done.
correct.
Continue learning. Always, I say, be a student of life, right? Always learning. So
Mhm.
your father has this rich legacy. And he, as you mentioned, was the first African-American reporter in the South. Can you talk about his journey and what that meant, not only back then, but in our times now, what that means and the significance of it?
That's a great question. Of course, in this day and time, we have Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
That was not that mantra during the time our father was hired in
Mm-hmm.
1950. There was no one really. It was in a small scale
Right.
fighting the battles for equality for African Americans, but because of Dad realized the historical value in this, he decided to become a reporter with a banner and help open the door for a future African American male and female who decided to go into the journalistic field, open the door for them through his
Yeah.
work and his contribution. He worked tirelessly. He always wanted to be a writer, and he enjoyed writing. He,
Mm-hmm.
yes, he majored in English at Fisk University. He finished Fisk University, but Dad realized again the importance of having a dual function. If the writing piece didn't work, he had to have something else to fall back on.
Absolutely.
So he went to Tennessee State, went to TSU, and he got a teaching license, took courses to become a teacher
Wow.
in metro schools. Of course, that his writing and of course the work of the banner was what he was called to do and called to be a part of and to contribute to. So he went on and did that, and of course he as I said, with all the trials and tribulations he endured,
Mm-hmm.
and he met a lot of famous people. He interviewed Dr. Martin Luther King
Wow.
Jr., Muhammad Ali, of course, Marian Anderson, uh,
Yes.
many other famous people who came through Nashville, Tennessee. He had a great relationship with the famous artist, Aaron Douglas,
Mm.
and one of his best friends, Greg Ridley, artist Greg Ridley. And if you're familiar with Mr. Ridley, Mr. Ridley was a professor not only at Fisk, but Tennessee State too.
Okay.
And of course, we know Aaron Douglas is one of the architects of the African American Renaissance that was in New York City. If
Mm-hmm.
you go into the chapel or the main building at Fisk University, you see a lot of his murals that he did during his tenure there at Fisk as a professor, but also during the time he was facilitating and being a part of that great Renaissance there. So anyway, he had friends in that particular area, and we do have some of their art. Of course, Greg really is known for his copper relief that's in the downtown main library that is in
Right.
the Nashville.
Wow. So, speaking with you today, seeing all the images, we know that Mr. Churchwell Sr. was an accomplished man with many awards and accolades, and education was very near and dear to him and truly, truly important. But we also have realized how important family was to him. And I think during these times right now, we're all realizing how important family and friends are to us. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of family to your dad?
That was paramount.
Mm.
Again, going back to our times we're in now, we all he made it a point. We all sat around the kitchen table
Mhm.
every evening, had dinner together,
Mhm.
and we shared what happened during the course of our day. Of course, he talked a little bit about what he did during the
Mhm.
day, but it gave us a chance to share and also be reinforced by
Mm.
both mom and dad about what obligations we had and what our responsibilities are and would be as we got older. Uh,
Right.
they believed in service. They
Right.
believe that it is important to give back for, as it is said in the Bible, for much is given, much is required.
Mhm.
So that was one of
Mhm.
the things, the mantra that was instilled in us as children. And we still carry that even today.
Mhm.
And so family was extremely important to him. Education, all of us were motivated
And
and
that's evident.
inspired, motivated and inspired to do our best and to succeed in elementary, junior high school, and of course in college too.
Mm.
Being oldest, I felt great responsibility to make sure that I followed through all the way
Yeah.
and set the example. And he made it apparent to me my responsibility as the oldest child to do that.
Mm.
But again, he and mom worked as a team, and they made sure that we had everything we needed. So, it's important now as during this time that families do come together.
Right.
Our families take on a whole different uh, color now, a whole different look.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
but it's still family. Whether
Absolutely.
it's mother or grandmother, we have grandmothers raising children, aunts raising children,
Yeah.
mothers and fathers raising children, and some single parent are raising their children too. But I know they want the greatest. They want the best for their children also, and not
Yes.
just for us. So it's
Absolutely.
truly important that we can all continue with that idea
Right.
and make that a paramount of paramount importance in our families.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have one more question for you. For all of our young people who are watching, our Robert Churchwell students, if you could offer any piece of advice for them during this time, and just to encourage them, what would that be?
Well, realize that you're part of the #1 elementary school in the United States.
Woo-woo!
Pump it up, pump
Give it
it
up for
up.
that.
And you have some of the greatest teachers that have been chosen to help you each and every day. We have a great administrative staff with our principal is Kendra Chapman, our dean, Dean Williams, and of course our assistant principal, Ms. Taylor, who's a part of our team also. But you have a great opportunity to dream dreams and to see your dreams come true. Even in pre-K to 4th grade, it's important that you continue to listen to what your teachers are giving you, to learn the information they're giving you, and to keep that information because it will help you grow as you go through the steps. Each year is a step. The final step, of course, is 12th grade. But now is a great time for you to be about the business of learning, be about the business of achieving, be about the business of developing your character. Because your character will speak a lot about what you will be and what you will do later on. Learning to do the right thing, not cutting things short, not doing things halfway, do it all the way. And so this is a great time and a great opportunity to do that, even though we're doing it virtually. And of course, I found out yesterday that even the lessons that each student is getting, they're being graded virtually too. So let's keep charging. Let's keep marching forward as great students of this great institution called Robert Churchwell Museum Elementary School. And we're very blessed here too. They're very blessed because we have museum partners. We have the Frisk Museum, who's a partner with the school. We have the Tennessee State Museum, who's a partner of the school also. And
we have the National Museum of African American Music.
I was going to name that too. National Music is a partner of our school too. Of course, you and I worked last year with a program, after school program.
We did.
For our kids. And so, we're very excited about the African American Museum being a part of the Nashville community, but also they're part of our school too. And we appreciate Brother Hicks and the work that you all are doing there at Nashville.
Thank you so much.
African American Music Museum. And we also have a great relationship with Tennessee State Art Department. Mr. Michael McBride, who is one of the teachers and artists there. So they have all these resources, all this information that they have. We have people who come in to read to our children outside of Nashville. So, don't take it for granted. Take advantage of it each and every day.
Absolutely. Well, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you today, Mr. Churchwell, learning more about your dad and your family and the legacy that you guys have. I hope that you all have enjoyed our discussion today. Make sure that you listen to what Mr. Churchwell said, young boys and girls. Make sure that you are, just getting everything that you can out of the resources that you have. And you really, really are a part of a great, great school family. So once again, my name is Tamar Smithers. I'm with the National Museum of African American Music. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, Mr. Churchwell. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I would like to get a raise of hands, okay? I wanted to again thank you for your taking this time to talk with me and have the opportunity to share. I appreciate all the work that you're doing there at the museum. And I'm glad I had an opportunity to meet you, and I look forward to continue to work with you further as we continue doing our time here in Nashville. So again, I appreciate you taking your time out to do this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I look forward to working with you and all the students and families at Robert Churchwell in the future. Thank you so much. You take care. All righty. Bye-bye.